Hello, and welcome to another scene in Changing the Dreaming Doing Shenanigans. Today, the scene's going to start off in, let's say, downtown Dublin. It's a decent day, for the most part. Why do you now decide to start squeaking that you're a pretty bird? Beaky, I know that you are. And it's fair enough, I suppose. It's kind of hot out today. In fact, it's really hot out today. But that doesn't really stop too many people. Really? It doesn't really stop too many people, nor does it stop the birds from chirping very loudly in the background. So, this will start off in a little cafe. There's a certain somebody just chilling in this nice little cafe. He's got his laptop out. There's Wi-Fi, of course. They've probably got Word or Microsoft or Word or Google Docs open, or whatever kind of writing program that they use. Hell, it could be Grammarly for all I know. And you'll know. There's probably some kind of chilled drink beside the laptop. And for a couple days now, they've had an unpleasant writer's block. They have the motivation. They do. There's plenty of motivation to write something, but no story ideas will come. Hours have passed in this cafe, and nothing more than staring at the screen, the little cursor gently blink, 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 blinking on the white sheet. It's infuriating, truly, to have the will to write, but no ideas. The ice in the drink has melted faster than usual given the odd heat, and a lot of people are doing what they can to kind of cool down. And then, as this person is staring at the computer screen, an inkling of an idea starts to form in their mind, ever so slowly. They lean forward, their fingers above the keyboard in perfect typing pose. And they're waiting for the idea to fully form. And then they begin to type. Slowly at first. The first sentence is, as everyone knows, is the one that you must grab your reader with, and you must have it be amazing and beautiful. A lot of pressure on one sentence to start an entire book off. But it's doable. They begin, and eventually it goes from that one sentence. And then they erase it. It didn't work out. It was stupid. Once upon a time. How many stories begin with that? No. They erase it once again and begin typing. This time it's a paragraph detailing the beautiful scenery of a forest, glimmering with small little winged creatures flying about and hiding in the flowers. And it just continues to go. No story has quite been formed yet, other than detailing what these little creatures do. They're maybe the size of a mushroom. And cute. Winged and wearing leaves and grass for their clothes. They're just flying and flying around. When the writer finally looks back up, 3 pages now completed in the span of about 45 minutes. So they were really typing. There's probably a lot of spelling errors, but you know what? You can fix that later. Always got to write down first and then go back and, review. But they're not in the cafe anymore. Instead, simply them, a chair, the table, the laptop, the drink, and then the forest that had been described. Tall, beautiful trees of varying colors. There are some that are brilliant shades of blue, others are the deepest, darkest reds. Some look normal, and then some are very, chromatic, and they shift colors every time you tilt their head tilt your head, looking at these leaves. There's a small, quiet squee of a couple voices in shock as they look around, as this writer looks around trying to see who exactly caused this little squeak. They see no one, nothing, other than the flowers around, very gently swaying. But there is no breeze in this forest today that would cause them to sway. There are no whispers from the trees themselves. All is silent except for that one little loud chorus of, surprised squeaks. Of course, the laptop does shut off now, but thankfully they remembered to save. Because saving's always a good thing. So they didn't lose anything. But the story is still playing out in their head, and they realize it's probably a self-insertion story. Because as they begin to think, they themselves have now become a part of this story, but they do not know how it ends. So, what exactly does this writer do now that they are no longer in a cafe in downtown Dublin?
I guess Alfie, having facing this writer's block, would definitely commit to maybe a nice walk to clear his head.
As he begins to walk, his fingertips brush across the tops of these small plants, flowers, shrubs. Bring me a shrubbery is heard somewhere in the distance. Very, very far away. Very far away, but somebody screams it out there. They should bring them a shrubbery. And they hear the tiny little bzzz of fly wings behind them, or just wings in general, and they turn around to try to catch them, and nothing's there. But the flowers and leaves are gently shaking, as if something was hiding behind.
Probably annoyed. Usually how young children like to play. Someone probably was playing on Hammer's throat. Leave it alone.
And that's, about the time he looks down. And he notices his clothes have changed from, the everyday outerwear of, shoes, jeans, and a t-shirt to, something a lot more fanciful. Pantaloons, very nobly kind of
You said pantaloons. I'm 5.
keep it up, and he's gonna fucking appear in a skirt.
It's fine. That's me.
Fucking fluffy pants, whatever. The shoes have now changed into boots. It's quite nice, actually. Everything is nice. It's clearly some of the finest material you've ever seen, but it also brings us to the point that he's never seen any material like this before. And, you know, as I said, it's very medieval styled noble clothing. There's not like one of those little lacy collars or anything. I don't really know how to describe medieval clothing. You think I would have gotten better at this running this damn game, but guys. It's fuck medieval clothing. There's a little, you know, there's like a nice, you know, little sash or whatever. And there's a little on the shirt, this very nice crafted shirt, probably on like a, I don't know, fucking vest of velvet or some shit. There's this kind of silvery herald, not herald, emblem. There we go. Iconography. Fuck. So many words to describe something. Looks pretty fucking nice. You don't know what it means, but it looks nice. And then there's the belt with that sword kind of chilling there, and you're like, damn, bruh, where the fuck this come from? Like, I know how to fucking use a sword, but
Uh, Alfie will look down, rub his eyes. Clearly, something is wrong. Maybe he's hallucinating. Maybe he should have listened to the weather report when they said to make sure you stay hydrated because clearly he's seeing shit. So he will probably stop at a nearby delicatessen or bagel shop, sandwich shop, and probably with his very meager earnings as a busboy, get that artisan water because
the further in he goes into this forest, trying to find some semblance of civilization, there is nothing. Just absolutely nothing to be found that, you know, gives way to, you know, oh yeah, that's a fucking, you know, that's a Starbucks over there, or, you know, that's a fucking McDonald's over there. I mean, damn, I wouldn't be surprised if you could find a freaking McDonald's in the middle of like the deep dreaming, knowing McDonald's. But you know, no, there's none of that. Instead, there's a nice pool, a crystalline pond. The surface is completely still, and there's a young man off to the side, just kind of laying by this pond, just idly staring into it. It's clearly, you know, a glade from any old fairy tale book, trees kind of surrounding it, and, you know, it's got this kind of dim, nice, shaded look about it. But the dude chilling there doesn't really seem to notice anybody. He's just staring into his reflection like, hey there, how you doing today, my dude? Looking fine as fuck.
Alfie will look up, nervous and scared, because he doesn't like attention. He'll do that awkward who me, like, and turn around confused, like.
Well, no one actually said that. Like the dude's just looking at his reflection, and he's like, he's making faces that you can see, and it's they're like flirting faces. Like he's doing a whole like eyebrow twitch with the weird smirk, and he's like, hey, how you doing there? But he's looking down at his reflection, like one of those bitches.
Oh, he's obviously crazy. I leave crazy people alone. He walks away.
You turn around to leave and notice that there's a tree that has grown in your way. You
That's
can
not.
always go around the tree, but I mean, there's just a tree now.
I go around the tree. Like this is not what I asked for.
You walk around the tree. There's another glade. It looks almost like a mirror reflection, save for the fact that that's not a dude anymore. It looks to be some kind of how to describe it. Their skin is very, very dark red, a stark contrast to their bright white hair. Their ears are kind of pointed, and they've got white face paint on that has little swirls kind of drawn into it, or into the face paint, kind of showing the red skin underneath.
Hmm.
They're still staring into the pond, but as they kind of open their mouth for a smile, it's fucking Shark Week all over again. Just, yeah, shark teeth, shark bait, waha, chilling there. He's got goggles too, just, on his forehead, kind of like a headband, and he'll just kind of look up and he'll go, "Oh, dude, what's up?"
Hi.
Yo,
Hello. I'm very cool, but I um
you gonna use your words there, dude?
I'm very confused. Why do I look like this?
Shit, why do I look like this? I look like an angry red fucking turd, dude. And
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm confused.
yeah, that's cool. What you want me to do about it? Then he'll
Nothing.
just kind of stop.
Nothing. I'm sorry, and I'll leave. Like,
He'll squinch his eyes. And then he'll open them again and go, "Ah, shit. Wait, okay, dude. How how long have you been in this forest though?
I don't understand the words that you're using. Like,
How long have you been in this forest?"
I was walking and I was here one day. I don't understand what is going on. I don't even know if I'm hallucinating. You know what? This is not my problem. I'm sorry, sir. I will leave you alone. My apologies. Turn, walk.
Goes back around the tree again. Instead of the dude who was staring down at his reflection, being like, making little lovey-dovey eyes to himself, it's it looks now kind of like a tree dude. Like his skin is bark, and it looks like an int from Lord of the Rings, just like not as tall. Maybe like decently human sized. It's just, it's just chilling there. His hair is all leafy and shit. And I'll just kind of look over and I'll say, "Ah, yeah. Is there something I can help you with?"
No, I don't know. You were talking to yourself earlier. I didn't want to disturb you.
Was I talking to myself earlier?
You were looking into the water and you looked very preoccupied.
No, that was not me.
Oh, but no, I don't think you can help me. I'm unsure.
Well, what is your problem? And perhaps we can go from there on whether or not I can help.
I had a headache and I went for a walk and now I'm here. I'm very confused.
Ah, I see. And do you know what that emblem on your chest means?
I looked down. I hadn't noticed.
It's a unicorn. It's the black unicorn.
I looked at it and I said, I don't know. I thought I was out of my line, little pony face. Guess not. Shrugs.
Reach your hand up. Touch your ears.
Reaches hand, touches ears. Wow, that's not supposed to be there.
They be pointy though.
Am I insane?
Yes, but we all are.
What's wrong with me? Pulling on the ear. I didn't ask for this.
None of us asked for this. If we would have, I don't think most of us would. In fact, if it was something that we asked for. I know many, many people who loathe what they have become, mostly because they know their lifespan has been significantly shortened.
What do you mean? I run every day. I don't have heart problems.
As much as your heart is a very large part of keeping your body alive, that's not the only problem that would cause a lifespan to shorten. How about this? Do you know the stories of elves and fairy tales?
He'll shrug and say, yeah, I like Lord of the Rings like anybody else.
Fair enough. And how they were all so noble and whatnot.
Yeah?
Congratulations, you're one of them.
Oh.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? He looks at me. How? I'm very confused.
You are something known as a changeling. Now, it's not unfucking fortunately the changelings from fairy tales. You were not kidnapped and, and either a fetch or a sickly fairy child was left in your place. No. Instead, what has happened is a soul of a fairy has merged with your human soul. And now you must forever live a life of duality between banality and bedlam, between your gray world and dreaming world selves, your human and fey natures. It sucks.
Huh? I'm pretty sure those words mean things, but what?
And they do. You are currently in what is known as the dreaming. To put it simply, it is It is not a dreamscape, but at the same time it is. Where you are the dreams of humans, and in fact, you yourself are one. When people read Lord of the Rings and dream of Legolas or whatever, you know, yada
Mhm.
yada yada. Same thing goes with nightmares. When people have nightmares, they are still a form of dream, and they are also found here in what is known as nightmare realms and things of that nature. He'll just kind of rub his head a little bit, and there's the nice little sound of bark on bark. He goes, I was not prepared to deal with a newly chrysalis changeling today. Ah, I got it. Would you like to go see more of your kind?
Okay.
That was kind of a yes or no question, but I'll take K. Okay, follow me. And he will begin to stomp, 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 stomp his way out of this little glade, leading the newly little fresh changeling Bipper. It's not a long walk, but excuse me. But at the same time, it is a long walk. It takes hours, yet only takes minutes. Because thank you, dreaming time fuckery. Hey. So eventually you both reach the edge of this forest, and kind of far off you can see what looks to be what one can liken to a medieval fairground, or what they would believe would be kind of like a medieval fairground, or perhaps even marketplace. There looks to be a place for duels, and at the same time there are a whole bunch of stalls. There's a freaking really tall lady just chilling off to the side, but you can't really tell that they're really tall because you're about half a mile away. But they look pretty tall from this, from this perspective, and they got wings. Um, really? Why? Um, and he'll just kind of gesture off. Oh, and behind that is a whole bunch of fanciful buildings, vaguely in the shape of, Dublin. But, instead of like the skyscrapers and shit, instead it's wooden taverns and weird buildings and whatnot with a whole bunch of trees and shit. Because, dreaming.
Mm.
The tree man will just kind of gesture off towards the medieval marketplace and say, that is where you should be able to find more of your kind.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Hey, yo, so the rest of the changelings, though, there was this big ass fucking explosion of glamour, right? That kind of happened like downtown Dublin. It was like, and there was a whole bunch of fucking glamour. Everybody and they mama knows that that was a newly chrysalis little baby. But when y'all reach there, and the commoners start harvesting the glamour because they're like dying and shit. If they don't get the glamour, and I'm just saying, some people, there's no little baby changeling. So a lot of people start low key freaking out, you guys included, because I'm just gonna say y'all were like the ones that were there, along with some of the commoners and shit who were just harvesting the glamour. And y'all are like, damn it. But there's a little whisper in your ear, probably the dreaming, whispering sweet nothings in your ear that's just kind of like, hey, you guys, go to the market.
I hate you so much, Kim. God damn it. Hey, you guys.
You know what? Yeah, because specifically for fuck you, everybody, and the changelings in the scene, save for the new little baby, hears a little whisper going, hey, you guys, go to the market.
I always thought that the dreaming sounded like Mr. Rogers, and he will go to the market.
Oh no, if the dreaming sounded like anybody, it's that.
Bob Ross. It
No.
sounds like Bob Ross.
No.
Run away, burn the dreaming, burn it all.
Yeah, no, the dreaming sounds like that, person who's, about to just whoop your ass, but at the same time, after they're finished whooping your ass, they're going to give you a lollipop.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes.
Kim, what kind of ass whoopings have you gotten in your life that they gave you a lollipop afterwards?
The good ones.
I personally have never had that happen. I'm just using this, kind of as fucking metaphor. Get your ass to the changeling market.
Okay. On a side note, Tintagel will already be in the changeling market because he doesn't care to go traipsing around after Chrysalis change. That sounds like a Count Allele problem. It's his problem. His territory, his problem.
You know what? You fucking Tintagel specifically is going to hear the dreaming up in his ear again and be like, hey, you bitch. Get to the fucking market. And if you don't, that sword is going to disappear back into the dreaming where it belongs.
All right, thank you, Fat Albert meets that one kid from the Goonies.
There's going to be an unknown force, and Tintagel's going to be fucking pushed over.
I just like to think that he's just walking down the corridor and then just smash hits the floor. Just like there's no reason for it. Just like whoop, 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 whoop.
Yes.
Ow!
That is exactly what happens when you fucking talk back to the dreaming.
Rassam racking fucking dreaming. Continue. But yes, change the market. Away.
I will be on the changeling market because I need to buy things.
So everybody reaches the changeling market. They're doing their whole changeling thing, they're just kind of walking around and they're like, damn, they had this whispering, fucking dreaming bitch whispering in our ear saying to come to the market. Ain't fucking nobody here. What the shit? Hate you dreaming. Just doing their own little thing. When y'all feel this kind of, when you kind of get near a place that's just like been recently electrocuted or something, and like the power is slowly dissipating, but there's still a little bit of power there. But in this case, it's glamour, but the glamour is slowly dissipating as the big explosion has stopped, and y'all see this fucking dude just walking towards the market, and there y'all go from there.
All right. So in that case, on a side note, Kim, can I do a thing throughout the course of this scene?
Depends on what your thing is.
Tintagel has a theory because he knows the commoners aren't stupid. I would just like to make some perception alertness rolls to see if they start giving poor little Slua filthy death glares.
Oh, poor little Slow would like also to, notice that filthy glare of die, you traitor.
You know what? Yeah, roll your party alertness.
I have
glares.
difficulty 5 for my thingy as a Slua.
I assume that it's sight based, yeah.
Yes.
I thought it could be hearing based, just hearing him go, "Hey, fuck that guy! Yeah, fuck that guy!"
Yeah, I will. Nah, I will just go for the straight looks because I don't want to spend my -3 at the moment.
3 successes for me.
Oh, I fucked it. 1 second. I'm rolling anywhere.
Okay.
One. Sorry, two for me because difficulty 5.
Okay. Nope. Nobody beat what they needed to. So yeah, y'all are just looking around. Yeah, the commoners doing their thing. You know, they're just kind of walking around the market. They don't seem to be noticing. Everything's perfectly normal.
That's normal as it is in a disease changeling market.
Yep.
Yep. The things that Vete previously, hung that on at the market, the thingies, they are still there, or all of them have been taken?
They've all been taken.
Oh, excellent. So I'm going to, keep my hand near my sword under my cloak because fuck every single changeling here, especially Titangel.
You just hear a changeling off in the distance go, "Fuck you too, bitch!" You don't know if they were talking specifically to you or some other changeling, but, that's off in the distance.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no. So baby changeling walking up. Y'all do the whole, thing or whatever. I'm gonna go get some fucking ice cream.
I will just... is Titangel on his horse? Hey, Heaven. God damn it. The only shit that can help me. There, he's back. Evan. Nope. So yeah, fuck it. The Slua is going to approach the new awakened whatever the hell looks like a she and just going to stare at it and go like, hi. And basically what you see is a tall white figure with sharp teeth and blackish eyes looking and smiling at you with long, bony, spidery like fingers.
I'm sorry, did you say something? Oh. Oh, hello.
And he, for some fucking reason, speaks very, very low, like, hello, who are you?
Alfie.
Well, hi, Alfie. And he will extend a hand. I'm Vete. A pleasure to meet you.
He'll put out his hand. Not sure what he's looking at. There's a look of fear and confusion in his eyes.
It's long, it's cold, the skin is grayish, white.
Hello.
And when you touch it, it's cold and kind of slimy.
You see him do like the shiver. Furrows nose.
And he will kind of stare for a second and go like, You don't know anything yet, do you?
No.
Oh. And he will start looking around for some kind of help. Since he sees no one, he will just raise up a finger, go like, in times where you know nothing, the best thing you can do. And he brings out a bottle of some kind of brownish liquid and 2 small glasses, fills them and offers you one. Is drink.
I'm Uh,
Come on, drink. It will be good for you.
what is that? People, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm very confused and scared, sir.
Yes, this will take the confuse and scariness away. It's whiskey.
I'm sorry, but I read the TV special that says I shouldn't trust strangers, sir.
What's a TV?
Oh no.
And as this is going on, he will try to look around and catch any known she or one of the commoners, and wave them over. He will
That was
scream
very
at them, but he can't because Slua. He will scream in Slua, so a little louder whisper.
What did I miss while my internet decided to shit a brick?
I'm trying to make the baby changeling drunk to take his scariness away. Because
Another
this
baby
is
said something about TV and stranger danger.
yeah, and he went like, "What's a TV?" Because Vete doesn't know what the fuck is a TV. He doesn't know one.
Okay. So I think it's about at this point, because opportunities.
Mhm.
Raven is going to spot Bete and the new baby changeling. And for the benefit of Anthony, what you see is a woman dressed very much like the picture on the right, with two large swallowtail butterfly wings, kind of neatly folded up at her back. And she will smile and say, Vete, a television is it's a device that allows you to watch stories that are told in pictures, not unlike Fraurgar's book.
The telly.
Yes.
Then why? And he will look and you what? Why didn't he said the telly? The TV.
She will shrug her shoulders.
She will be offered a glass of whiskey
She'll take it.
as a proper alcoholic.
It is at this point that we shall traumatize the child by introducing them to both trolls and Tintagel, both of which traumatizing.
As soon as Bete looks at the count coming with his bodyguards, he will with one hand pull 3 glasses, fill them up, bow, and at the same time extend the whiskey over to Titanical, aka the Titty Count.
Yeah.
Fucking love my names. I will let Kim describe Aja and Catherine because they are special trolls.
Okay. So, 2 very large. When I say large, I mean like 10. Well, yeah, 10, 11 or so feet tall, blue-skinned women with horns on top of their head will kind of walk up. One has a very bright pink ribbon tied around one of their horns. And they're just wearing, like some chainmail and shit, and they got a really big hammer kind of strapped to their back. They're just talking to this other one this slightly shorter, dark blue-skinned woman with horns. Her horns, one of them has a couple dents, and it's clear the bone of the horn has been kind of broken a little bit. It's not completely sheared off, but it's definitely got a little nick, a couple nicks. Forgot their weapon. I think it was a bow. regardless. They now have a bow on their back, and they're just they look so done as the taller one is just just talking away at this other very tall blue-skinned woman who is also wearing chainmail. She looks absolutely done with life. But yeah, very, very tall.
Tintagel is not nearly as tall. He is. As I said before I left, we will also have Sir Christian with us, as we said that he was going to come do some work for us. So we haven't sworn him to our household or anything formal, but we're seeing if we can find him stuff to do. Because when you're trying to sort out a county as well as stop a plague of death, you tend to have as many hands on deck as you can. But Tintagel, for his part, is dressed in golden armor from head to foot. He has a red cloak slung over his shoulders. He has a very, very fancy chimerical sword at his hip. No, it's not a chimerical sword. He has a very fancy sword on his hip that is, I have to get this right. Its scabbard is like it is covered in green moss, and it's covered in Celtic knotwork. Yes? Finger guns?
The scabbard for that weapon is not knotted with Celtic knotwork. The scabbard looks very similar to mossy bark, though, as does the pommel, except the pommel's not covered in moss.
That's entirely live valid. And he's wearing a circlet on his head. I actually finally described Tintagel's circlet. In the center of it, in place of having a jewel, it has a little clock face, and you can just see little clockwork pieces moving throughout it, so it keeps the time. Because that sounded very House Dougal to me the other day, so I was just like, ooh, piece of candy. But he will walk up to this scene and kind of look at Vete. Without looking at Vete, he will take the pre-offered drink, and he will take a sip. So, what do we seem to have here then?
Recently chrysalid changeling, my lord.
I see.
He's cute.
Did you just say he's killed?
He's cute. C-U-T-E.
All right.
God damn it.
That's immensely better. Tintagel will do that thing where he stands up to his full height. He's nowhere near as tall as Troll. He'll look at the new changeling and say, "Come now, stand up straight. Let me have a look at you." Almost in a kind of a like that bitchy aunt who you don't really want to talk to, by the way.
Both of the very tall blue-skinned women roll their eyes.
Why? I think I'm standing straight.
There was straight, and then there was she straight.
I don't know the words you're what's a she?
And the Slua points to Titangel and to the woman with the wings, and then you can see a tongue protuberate from his mouth, and it points at you.
I fall back. I literally hit the floor.
The woman with the wings.
This is very uncomfortable for me.
Why are you doing that? Stop, please. Please and thank you.
I only have 2 hands, yourself. And he
Please
puts
and
the tongue
thank
back
you.
into his mouth like... Yes, woman with wings, go ahead.
So, as all of this is happening, it starts as a simple one-handed Picard-style facepalm, and then the other hand gets added because she realizes he knows nothing, and now Vete is accosting him in Slua.
I'm being extremely, extremely agreeable in Slua.
Yes, for a Slua.
I have etiquette 3 specialties, Lua.
Christian, for his part, is watching the baby changeling with a polite but puzzled smirk on his face.
Don't just lay there in the dirt, boy. A she should never be in the dirt.
He has a tongue. I don't. It's not supposed to do that.
And who says it's not supposed to do that?
I don't know. Tongues don't do that. Any tongue I've ever seen, anyway. As he's
Ah,
just
yes,
like
I
sitting there.
Ah, yes, and I suppose that you are somewhat of an expert in the anatomy of a slewer, then, are you?
I
Have you
don't
seen
know
their
the words
tongues?
you're using. I'm sorry. Don't yell.
On a side note, I'm sorry, Anthony, but this is amazing. Tataja will look him up and down as he's kind of a huddled mass on the ground, and his eyes will dart to Kim. You said that he did have the Scafat unicorn on his clothes, yeah?
Yes.
The black unicorn.
Yep. His eyes will focus on the unicorn for a moment, and his nose will wrinkle. For those of you who don't know, Tataja really doesn't like House Scathatch. I went so far.
Scathatch doesn't like you either.
That's fine. I went so far as to call their oracle a murderer once.
And she hit you back with your wife, so.
Yeah, she did. And then it all anyway. But he will look down and he'll say, I see. He'll look at the other two she, and he'll say, a member of House Scathatch graces us with their presence.
What are the words that you're using, please?
Christian turns to look at the Count, just tilting his head slightly, curious and unsure as to why he would take that tone regarding his new arrival's house, but shrugs it off.
Tentacho will extend a hand down to Alfie. Come on, get up.
He'll take his hand like unsuredly.
He's very squeamish, my lord.
Have you provided him with a stiffening drink?
He has, declined my whiskey. I feel a little bit sad and a tad insulted.
What's your name?
Alphanot, but everybody calls me Alfie.
Right. It is nice to meet you. Allow me to do the formal introductions. He will point and he will say, this is Veta.
Hi.
He will then point at... Oh, sorry, continue.
He'll wave.
He will then point at Raven, and he'll say, "This is Lady Raven Celestis."
She'll give a small bow. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Hi.
This is Sir Christian Dubois.
Hello.
Christian bows either standing or from his saddle. Pleasure to meet you, my friend. He's quite young, but even still, he at least seems to know what's going on better than you do.
He will hold up his hand to the left. He will say, "This is Sir Catherine Dawn Hammer ap Dougal."
Hello.
Before she moves, his response will be, "No, Catherine, please do not hug him."
But why? Why not?
Because he's terrified.
You know what? Because you guys are all freaking creepy and you're all like huddling around the dude. Like, give him some space. Damn. Here, I got this. Fucking back up. So she'll set her hammer down with a thud and then just kind of lean it against the other very tall blue person. And the other blue person is like, gives them that what the fuck look. But the tall one, Catherine, ignores it. She walks over and she kind of sits on the ground near Alfie. That way, her 11-foot plus height is not very imposing. She just sits on the ground, looks up at him, and says, "Hey, so, in those, like, fairy tale stories about those, those kind of really mean, scary creatures known as trolls that would hide under bridges, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am one, but I am neither scary nor do I hide under bridges. I don't like them.
Okay.
It's true. The last time we took a road trip, we had to do a 10-mile detour so we didn't have to cross a bridge.
I thought you said you weren't going to tell anyone about that.
No, I thought we were sharing. I thought you want. I'll be quiet.
Why? Well, she's...
The troll gets offered a glass of whiskey.
She doesn't take it, but she is sniffling. She's just... Okay.
The Slua will drink the glass of whiskey then.
Tatch will make a
Partly
mental
scared,
note.
partly
This is
terrified expression. Why is she crying? I'm very confused.
Tatch will make a mental note. He will have to buy her a large cupcake again. He does that whenever he fucks up, which is semi-regularly.
For a troll.
For a troll.
So, she'll look back up at him and go, "Okay, so I know you're probably really confused, and the rest of these people, as lovely as they are, they're probably a bit creepy. I am too, with my outgoing personality, apparently, since you two are very, like, sly and shy and Slua-like. But apparently, creepy Slua over there is apparently dialing up the creep factor just to be annoying. Glares over at the Slua.
He will just look at the troll and his long tongue is going to go like, "Nyeh," and then back to his mouth.
He does. He eats. He says jinkies. He just does the wince.
It's not creepy. He needs to get used to this.
No, he doesn't. He's a she. The only thing he needs to get used to is propping his feet up on a nice little cushion and leaning back with a mimosa in his hand. Okay?
On a side note, there's a tavern there. I feel the need for a mimosa and a cushion.
I can't stand you.
He's not laughing, but Anthony is.
You brought this upon us.
I'm going to throw you. I'm going to throw the both of you, and I can throw you very far. At the same time.
He will very casually, he'll step behind the other troll, like, nope.
I can throw her too!
Slua sounds of displeasure.
But anyway, regardless of those lovely people over there, I know you're probably really freaked out and really scared. So I'm going to break it down for you a little bit, as much as I can. So every one of us is based off of some story or another. Whether or not they're completely true is up for debate, because I mean that's just the way it is. So she are Irish, Slua are same thing with Puka and a whole bunch of other kiths. A lot of them come from the Irish fairy tales and stuff like that. It's okay. It is what it is. We all come from somewhere. I'm a troll. There are, Eshu. There are pixies. I love pixies. They're lovely. And very thievery. But they don't do it for the most part because they want to. It just kind of happens that way. But regardless,
How do you accident a thief?
Okay, so all of us, all of our kiths, because there's a whole bunch of kiths. I can't really go and name them all. We have things that we excel at, and we call them our birthrights because we all get them by birth. You get your beauty by birth, and you can't really be fucked around with in court. It's just how it is. Meanwhile, I grow stronger with every oath that I take. And, I also can't really fuck up doing anything like athletic shape. Don't worry about it. But at the same time, if I was to ever break one of those oaths, I would become very, very, very frail and sickly. If you deal with any kind of, you know,
We don't know what type he is.
yeah, I was
You'll
just
say.
getting to that. Thank you. But considering he's a Scathach, Scathach.
Oh, that is fair. He won't make that comment because Scathach didn't leave.
Yeah.
Continue.
And she'll go, for you, mortals are really, really gonna be infatuated with you for some odd reason. That's just the way it is. Meanwhile, for those two, points finger at the other two, she banality, this very, very, really bad, boring thing really hurts them a lot more than it hurts the rest of us. Him over there. Do you notice when he was trying to scream earlier? He couldn't. He can't raise his voice above a whisper. We all have something that affects us negative, but in exchange, we get like birthrights and stuff. So it is what it is. There's a little push and pull, give and take, yada yada yada. By the way, my name is Catherine. It's nice to meet you. She'll lift her hand up, from where she's sitting, shakes hand. She's, been very polite, sitting down, because she realizes her height is very imposing.
She'll shake her hand and smile, gush a little bit.
There's also one more thing. You're kind of now, pretty much regardless of anything you do, considered like the top of the top, the elite of the elite a little bit. Because points itself, points over at Slua, points at other troll. We're what are known as, rolls eyes, commoners. We are below, yay, the she. Unfortunately, there's not much we can really do about it because the dreaming, which is this basically big fairy tale dreamscape of horror and fun, enforces this distinction. And even if we try to rebel and, try to make things a little bit more even, if we do that without the she's help, the dreaming will help out the she and just kind of push back. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It's also kind of enforced by people's dreams because people are like, oh yeah, the elves are the top above everyone. I have a theory that maybe, just maybe, if we could get more people like the mortals to think, maybe the elves aren't the top of the top, the cream of the crop, that things would become a little bit more even in the dreaming. But we can't really know that because that's a really big global thing. You'd need to get like every mortal on board with that, and it would just be really hard. But that's my theory. But yeah, so you're a she. You are, you're going to have that kind of kick and pull a lot more than any commoner ever will in court. You don't really have to work as hard as we do for stuff because, there is a court system. You're not going to have to work as hard as we are because you're a she. Very nice for you, yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
He will, but why?
Because you're a she.
That's basically the way it is. It doesn't have an explanation.
Yeah, it really sucks.
And
Well, no, it does. Actually, it does have an explanation. And
my
Tadal says,
lord,
Well,
Yes.
what's the explanation? Sir.
the she were created first as the children of the beings who created us all, called the Tuatha De Danann, and the Tuatha De Danann agreed that we would be their successors. And that's how it began. But that's ancient history.
it's the way things have always been and always will be.
until the two author return, etc.
Oh, I'm still here? Oh, should probably close that. With that, he will nod. Okay, so how does one be a noble?
Well, we don't know if you are or you aren't.
Okay.
In the case you aren't, which could be extremely weird because you're a she, a noble might first need to notice you and become your patron by knighting you, and then probably through deeds, oaths, and being impressive, you can start raising your rank through the court.
For example, I, Raven will point to herself, and Christian here are both knights.
Christian smiles proudly, radiantly, actually. He's quite beautiful.
Well,
I just want to stroke his face.
It's His Excellency, right? Not His Grace?
Yep. His Grace is a Duke, His Excellency's a Count.
Okay. Well, His Excellency, Tantangel Flickerflame here, is a Count.
Under him, you have his lordship, Baron. Insert name because I don't remember the. Thank you. And then you have the knights, and then the squires, and he points to the trolls and to himself, the commoners. And most commoners never rise up in the ranks of nobility because we're commoners.
That's not strictly true. Many trolls become knights because they have a natural inclination to protect things they value, and they are, in many ways, the strong arms of those who are required to defend the people.
This is why I say most of us, my lord.
Yeah, and there are some of the commoners who just never, ever like to get promoted or do anything with the courts. One of those is Slua. They don't really fuck with the commoners, or they don't really fuck with the whole noble system a whole bunch. Some do. For the most part, you'll really rarely ever see any kind of titled Slua. It's just how it is, how it goes. Pixies are kind of the same way. Eshus are a little iffy. You know, some will, some won't, mainly because they love to wander so much. That's why if any Eshu ever really becomes a part of the court system, they're usually in the traveling house, hashtag house. Danon.
Yeah, that's Danon.
Yeah. And then, trolls, because of, our oaths and stuff, we make really great bodyguards and shit because we're super strong and loyal and...
Oh,
we're golden retrievers.
We're not golden retrievers.
You're right, we're pit bulls.
I, my lord, would like to be a chihuahua.
That is disconcerting. Never say that again.
Yes, my lord.
I don't know. It's maybe not that disconcerting.
No.
I've met chihuahuas. It's disconcerting.
Maybe a galgo, my lord?
This is acceptable.
Excellent.
But yeah. It's just... that's just how it goes. It kind of sucks. But it's what it is.
Now, how about some immediate concerns? Where are you staying, and do you have a means of earning a living for yourself?
I work at a coffee shop. He says quite honestly.
Tintagel reaches into his pouch on his side. He keeps it, for the record, in case anyone ever tries to pickpocket me, it's kind of important I state this. He keeps a dross pouch, but he also has his wallet in a different pocket because he does also carry human money with him. He will reach into his pocket and he will remove 5 what appear to be golden coins from his pocket. And he'll say, consider this a small act of kindness. As I'll make the blue booking post to Kim. He's just going to hand him 5 dross.
Okay.
Okay.
We are fueled by a substance called glamour. It's basically solidified dream stuff. It can oftentimes be difficult to get and even more difficult to keep. However, without it, we've strayed away in a process that's become known as, and he'll drop his voice very, very low. It's undoing, isn't it? When we
When we stop being.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a process become known as undoing. So, by all means, here, take these. You might need them until you get on your feet.
My lord, we should tell him about the other stuff that's going on.
I feel as though I need a drink for this.
And he will be offered a bottle of whiskey.
No. I require a mimosa and a cushion.
I can't stand you. Like, at all. I cannot.
You brought your own demise upon yourself.
If it helps, he will look Catherine up and down. I happen to know that tavern over there makes excellent cake.
No, you're not going to bribe me. I'm still, you know what? Like a troll, I shall not be bribed.
I'm playing with you. Come on. Don't be like that.
Nope. Turns her head away. Will even scoot so her back is facing him.
And Veggie's going to...
I have to roll that stat, Kim, that I can't roll. I'm going to roll perception empathy. What could go wrong?
My lord, I have an idea. And he will pull his red little book titled How to Socialize Chapter 1, How to Make Friends. And he will hand it over to Titangel. and he will flip to a chapter that says, I'm sorry, I'm a douche. Here, my lord, you can use some of these. They have worked for me. This will make them back, and he will take the book, go through a few pages back, a happy chappy, and he will give the book back.
I'm going to spend a willpower on this. Oh shit, Kim, 4 successes to read her emotions.
How the fuck you get 4 successes?
Because I have 3 dice with this. And I got all successes.
What the fuck? So, with the force, you know what? I will roll her manipulation empathy.
Make him use the book. Dear God, make him use the book.
I'm gonna roll her manip sub. Where is her sheet? Here we go.
This will be the battle of the tiny dice pools.
No.
Fuck you.
I didn't expect to get 4 successes.
Shit. Okay, so yeah, she seems a little upset that he thinks he can just yeah, she, you know what? Yeah, she just seems a little upset. A lot of upset.
Tintagel walks around in front of her. And he's going to kneel down so that they're kind of, or rather he's going to bend over because she's sitting on the ground, isn't she? But she's still much taller than he is.
Well, on the ground, she kind of tall, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The sad fact is that Tintagel actually loves these 3, even though he's not good at showing it. So he is going to make an effort which he doesn't normally do. How widely spaced are her horns?
Oh Jesus Christ! About to pull out my MS Paint skills again because I can't.
No, my question is, can his forehead fit in between her horns? Like, can he press his forehead to hers?
Not particularly. Here we go with some wicked MS Paint skills. Hold on, I'm gonna screen share this because I did it in all of like 5 seconds.
Yay.
So yeah, they're kind of like more attached. They're kind of like tiefling horns a little bit, but I can't really draw tiefling horns with a fucking, mouse. But yeah, there's not really enough that he can really fit like his face in between her horns.
What about below at the center where her eyes are? Kind of, that kind of place.
You can kiss her forehead.
Okay, you know what? This is an incredible show of affection from Tintagel, because he normally doesn't show affection, but he's going to kiss her forehead.
The Slua will go, ah.
Catherine's gonna look over, death glare the Slua, and say, "I'm throwing you when I get off of this floor."
Yay! The range of emotions on this Lua, it's killing me.
You just ruined her touching moment. God, she's okay.
Yes.
Does she appear more cheerful afterwards, Kim?
You wanna roll that,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll it! It's a wrecking machine! I'm gonna spend another willpower! No, you know what, Kim? I'm not gonna just spend another willpower. I'm gonna motherfucking activate my motherfucking remembrance to get extra dice on the roll and spend a willpower. I could only do this, to be fair. I'm gonna be gone for the rest of the week anyway, so might as well. How much remembrance does he have? It's either 3 or 4. It is. Drum roll, please. Flaws, backgrounds. He has 3, so I'll add 3 extra die. So 6. And I'm going to spend a willpower. That is 2 successes with a willpower spent.
She seems a little less upset.
My apologies. Yes, shall we all go and get something to eat and drink while we talk to the new person about the state of affairs in the kingdom? Seems like an excellent idea to me.
Everyone roll perception awareness.
Okay.
Okay, what's the difficulty?
Standard.
Okay.
Perception awareness?
Canning?
Or alert.
Oh, alertness. This question, this hearing-based thingy or purely looking thingies?
It will be sight-based. It can be sight or hearing.
I'm going to hearing for a -3 difficulty.
Sight for me. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
I got 2 only. Huh.
No successes.
No successes.
Okay. Unfortunately, you needed 6 to beat.
Holy shit, balls!
So, yeah, nobody... Everything's good still. It's perfect. Wonderful.
I think I'm going to get stabbed.
We'll see. Go on. Go on with your life.
And Leslua will, start walking towards the tavern with probably the she, like being she behind him.
Well, Kristen will follow the count and fall in step with him rather, but probably walk more with Lady Raven.
And yeah, she'll keep step with him. Give him a polite nod.
Alfie will get up and walk, confused.
So yeah, you guys go into the tavern. It's nice, for a tavern. It's a tavern. It's it's going. A couple of the people look up and they'll kind of glance over. They're various commoner, Kiths, Eshu, Pixie, Boggin. There's a Puka. And they're all just doing their thing. And then, the bartender kind of looks up and over at you guys and just kind of says, hey, what do you guys, what y'all need?
For a start, to celebrate the coming into the dreaming of what's his name? Of Alfie here. He will put a hand on his shoulder. A round of drinks for the house.
He'll give you like a really sheepish smile.
A couple of the commoners are, there's muted kind of woohoos. From, from a couple of the commoners. They're like, yay! But they don't seem too enthused, mainly because there's just not a lot of them. But he will start, bringing drinks out for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How much will that cost me?
Probably about 4 draws.
I'll make the notes. I gave you 5, didn't I?
Yes, you gave me 5.
Cool. Then. Oh, sorry, you continue, Dylan.
Christian is looking at the count, looking pleased with the count, and he turns to Lady Raven and says, His Excellency, most generous.
He is.
Here's a snort from one of the commoners.
Oh boy. This Lua will kind of make a small quizzical glance at the commoner, like, what? He's paying for drinks.
None of them are looking towards you guys.
What was the snort? Sorry, I was getting a drink.
Somebody said that Count Tintagel was very generous, and there was a snort coming from one of the, full tables of commoners.
You will see Tintagel stroke his chin with long fingers, and he'll say, "It was merely a small kindness. Surely you gentlemen do not begrudge a small kindness."
Nobody says anything more.
Can I get a perception empathy?
Yes.
Okay.
It might be worth rolling for me to, not knowing Tintil very well.
Nope. Guys don't like me today.
Does remembrance only last for a round, or does it last for the scene?
For that ability.
Beg your pardon?
For that one roll.
Excellent. Cool. Forget it.
Good thing I have empathy. I want to try and feel how the room feels.
I'll roll that dice roll. I can't roll. I get 2 successes. Why? Why, God? Why?
I get. God damn it! I can't type today. I get 3 successes.
Okay. With 1 success. Okay, well, no, people rolled for 2 different things. Okay. Okay, so for trying to read the room, 3 successes. The... it's like when you read, or better yet, the shows. Like, the very common thing of, say somebody walks into a biker gang, they obviously don't look like a biker. And, the room continues on, but it's very clear the bikers are like, bro, what you doing here, though?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the commoners are doing right now. They're like, bro, why the nobles here? And then, all of a sudden talking about, oh, yeah, oh, so generous she. They're just kind of like, can y'all stop fellatiating yourselves in our tavern, please?
Okay.
They're not really saying that, though, but that's kind of the
Yeah,
hint of the
that's
room.
the feel. Yeah. The Slow will bring a small piece of parchment from one of his many, many pockets, write something, and put it on his pocket.
Okay. With it was 2 and 3 successes for that one particular changeling that snorted, right?
Yes.
Okay. With the 2 successes, they're very skeptical. With 3 successes, very, very skeptical. It was such a generous she. Let me, fawn like one of those women in the very, very old shows where all they thought women could do was just kind of like press their palms, or press the back of their hands against their like forehead and just kind of faint. It was just kind of like, oh, of course, it was so generous, kind of thing going on. Yeah, skepticism for your empathy rolls.
Okay. This is going that way.
Also, 100.
Yeah.
Or pocket that you stuck the note in?
Mine pocket, my own pocket.
Okay, so you wrote something down and then stuck it in your. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I just needed to know. Give me. Okay, y'all go on about your stuff.
Have I done something to offend you, sir?
None of them answer. Though, Alejandro, I'm going to need you to roll perception alertness.
I can hearing based because -3.
It will not be hearing based, it's actually touch based.
So when don't touch my pocket.
Yeah, someone's gonna touch your bucket.
Yeah.
Reach out and touch somebody.
Better than touching your butt.
Only if
I
you-
don't know. Have you ever
I
touched my butt? My butt is amazing.
Kim, only if you call me Susan.
Oh, god damn it.
We have an
I-
agreement.
Hi, Susan. I got 3 successes.
Unfortunately, they got 4. Okay.
God damn it.
So if you want to PM me what the parchment said, I would much appreciate it. Just
Sure.
wanted to have that little quip. Y'all can go on with your stuff now. Doodly do. But the commoners are not saying anything. They're just sipping their drinks. I will mention that it's not the drinks that Tintagel paid for.
Alfie will hold his fruit punch, looking around. So, what is this place like? What's court?
The court is like. Are you familiar with either British or French history?
I had to take it in college, but it was
Well,
just to get through the class.
It's literally that. We have a king, 4 dukes, a number of counts, a number of barons, and a number of knights. They form the legislative system that we have, and they settle grievances and all that kind of stuff.
Kim, as he references it, because this could get really ugly really quickly, Tintagel will hold up his own wine glass and announce very publicly to the tavern, God save the king, God save, or dreaming save the king, dreaming save King Bran.
Oh,
Because the king was referenced.
Yep, he's the Slua rise up the glass of whatever was given to him and go like, dreaming save King Bran.
Perception, empathy. Like, should I run now?
This can end in 2 ways. One, every commoner in the room gets murdered, or we all get murdered. So this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, y'all go ahead for those that want. Roll.
I just want to see if they raise their glasses to salute the king. I don't want to know what they're feeling. I just want to see if they're doing it.
For her part, Raven will also raise her glass and echo this sentiment.
Yeah, obliviously also, Christian raises his glass, drinks to the toast.
I'm sure all of these fuckers went on silly.
Can I come in shortly after roll?
Yeah, they will. They'll raise it, and it's just kind of that muttered kind of dreaming save King Bran. Lift their hands, their cups up, and say it though. No, take a drink and just kind of set their glasses back down again. let me know what y'all get on the perk alert. Zeroses?
I did a perk empathy just to read the room.
Yep, I'm going to do the same because this is starting to hold my attention. I get 1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay. So it was 2 and 3 successes, correct?
Yeah, 2 successes for the perk empathy, and I think he had 3 successes for the alertness.
Yep.
Okay. So with the 2 successes, you know in all of those movies where the British have come, they've taken over a place, and then the British people show up and they slam their dicks out on the table in like this random bar, and they're very rowdy, and they're all like, "God save the Queen," and everyone else in the room is like, I'm about to just those kind of movies.
Alfie gets this look in his face. It's just like, why is everyone like this? I'm so confused.
Best intro scene ever.
With 3 successes, it's very clear they're not armed. They didn't come here for a fight. They're upset, but they're not gonna throw the first punch. And it's at this time the door opens again, and another she walks into the room.
So this means they're a bunch of pussies. Okay, got it.
What did I walk into? A bar?
A tavern.
Yeah.
There's 2 tables. Both are filled with changelings. There's about 4 on one table. There's 4 spots on another table. There's 5. They're all commoner kiths. None of them are wearing any kind of court insignias or anything. There's a bartender. The bartender's just in the back. It looks when the bartender thinks something's about to get real, so he's just kind of like his hands are by his side, but at any moment he's gonna reach under the bar and like pull something out. The commoners they're kind of all leaned over. They look like they are being harassed, which you can tell. Look at the motley crew of PCs in the room. One particular PC in general starts with a T. So it's not that surprising. But yeah, there's that tension in the room where you kind of walk in. I got it. So you know that one gif of the dude who came in with like pizza, and like he walked into the apartment smiling and shit, and then like there's everything in the apartment is just fucking destroyed.
Everything's on fire.
Yeah, that's pretty much the like tension in this room. Like it just kind of you walked in, got your hair up or whatever, and then it was just kind of like, damn, that's a whole fucking wall of.
Oh my god, Aunt.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, so Karina's had a hard day. Like, she's been like in between like since that are like suffering from the plague. She's been helping them get glamour and stuff. And her lab shit, trying to get all that down. Yeah, she came down here to relax. She walks in, she finds there's no relaxation here. She's gonna look at all these people kind of leaned in and hush hush. She's gonna walk up to the shaky bartender, actually. Hands in pockets. For those that have not seen or met Karina, she definitely looking, at least definitely looking African in ethnicity, walks in. She has these icy blue eyes that don't really give out a lot of emotion. And her hair is messy. Like she's been kind of like, whereas some of these she are looking impeccably like perfect and shit. It looks like she looks like she's been running around the forest. It's a very like savage and wild kind of beauty.
Mhm.
Also, on the more average side for a she, only appearance 4 with the birthright. But she'll stroll on up to the bartender. Are there like people around him?
Nah, nobody's at the bar. It's just him.
Yeah, she's gonna come on up and she will say, "Oh wait, is the bartender a changeling?"
Yeah, this is a changeling tavern. Y'all are in the market in the dreaming.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll say, "Hello. Do you happen to have meat here?"
Yeah.
Excellent.
I need to change them.
She'll ask, "How much will I owe you?"
Don't worry about it.
Looks a little puzzled at that. Looks at the motley crew. Looks at the commoners. Looks at the bartender again. She'll kind of step forward up to the bar a bit more and kind of lean in. It's like she's not like trying to impose on him. She's actually just trying to like lean forward so that way she can whisper. Ask, is there a purpose to all of the tension in the room, or a cause of it?
They don't say anything.
Listen, if I'm not exactly welcome here, I will. Oh, what is the phrase? Take the L. But I don't know that something's wrong. I can't do anything to fix it.
They don't say anything. They just pour a freaking tankard of meat and just kind of set it down in front of her.
She pays for it anyway.
Probably about this point, Raven has left her seat, and gone to Karina. Baroness, are you okay?
I'm quite fine. Although, well, I worry for everyone else. What's going on?
I have no idea what you're talking about. For the record, she seems pretty oblivious to all the tension in the room. She will simply say, "You look like you could use some rest and maybe some food. Have a seat with us. Relax. There is a new one here."
Very well.
And Raven will escort Karina to the table and give Karina the seat she had been sitting in before finding another seat to kind of plop herself down in.
The Slua will rise up and give you his seat, and he will take and bring another chair for himself because it's etiquette 3, and he's the lower in station here. So
Oh, thank you, Vete.
Holy
He
crap, I
knows.
just realized we kind of do have now nearly an impromptu noble meeting, including Betty.
Like, Karina kind of looks a little, like, confused at all the about this, but she'll shrug.
Detacher will look up the bartender, and he'll sip his wine before he'll say, "Do you have a private room we can have?"
Yeah.
Where is it?
They just kind of walk around from behind the bar and start heading upstairs.
Follow.
Yep.
They'll open the door and just kind of motion for them to go in. Inside, it's not really a great room. It's a room. That's really about it.
Do the others join us upstairs where we have privacy?
Yep.
Why are we leaving? I understand. I'm really confused right now. Why is everyone so angry?
I am also quite confused.
Beta will get close to the baby Schling and whisper into his ear. We are disrupting the mood of the environment. Commoners tend to resent nobles in these times.
Why? He'll just say why in a really audible way.
And Beta is just going to look at him, shake his head, slew a gas, sigh, and start following the count.
To answer that question, Lady Karina, I'm going to explain it when we get upstairs.
Fails.
Christian takes his drink, rises, and moves to join the gathering in the other room.
Alfie is starting to look incredibly unsafe with those that are watching him. He is starting to like not fear, but like a deep misunderstanding or distrust.
If you would rather stay down here, you're more than free to do so, of course.
I'm not sure what's happening.
All will be clarified upstairs, if you please. And he points to the stair very gently.
He'll still give like that confused look, and he'll get up. But let's.
He's throwing shade at everyone.
Okay. Anthony,
Yeah,
Alfie is reluctant to go upstairs.
a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. I'm so sorry about this.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Raven will take your hand and say, "It's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen upstairs." And start leading you upstairs.
He's following. It's not like a hard reluctance. It's just he's terrified. Terrified is a good word.
Yeah, Karina doesn't want to start like overcrowding the dude, so she's gonna let Raven do her thing.
Detach doesn't care. He's has scat patch. He can stay down here and die for all he cares.
Karina don't know that yet, but whatever.
He's
Karina
got a
will
Lego
go.
board on his tabard, if you look at it.
Okay. So the social diff will apply, Anthony, but like Karina just won't care as much. That'll sound weird, but yeah. She's going last though.
Mhm.
The proverbial eyes in the back of the pack.
Mhm.
As they settle themselves in upstairs, Tintagel will sit furthest away from the door, as he can sit with his two trolls on either side. He'll not be sitting next to a window. He's going to position himself in prime, I don't want to die here, anti-assassination poses. So his back will be to a wall, but it will not be a wall that faces a window, and he will be the furthest away from the door. With his eyes on the door and window.
Yep. Karina will just lean on a wall.
Vete will actually not sit and will hover probably behind the shadow of Lady Raven.
Mother. It would appear as though, Tintagel will say, steepling his fingers together, that we are dealing with issues from within as much as we are dealing with issues from without. Vete, tell the assemblage what you told me, please.
Here, my lord.
Yes.
Very well. And he will... Go ahead.
Before he says anything, there's going to be a knock on the window. And if anyone looks outside, through the window, there's a raven chilling on the perch. And in its beak is a familiar to Yusuf piece of parchment.
Vete will open the window, nod to the crow, and take the piece of parchment.
It's the piece of parchment he put
in his pocket.
In his pocket. But there's another little scribble on it.
Yeah.
And it says, what I shall PM you.
Very well. 1 second that I need to read so I can react accordingly. I'm going to fly into Sluva Rage, probably, which is very, very quiet. Like one of those tiny baby cats that go... They're playing a dangerous game. Let's see.
I'm curious, Vete. What does Aurelius Mordrake say?
And he will keep... he will look at the note.
Raven, you motherfucker.
Yeah. He will look at the note. He will look at the raven, and he will whisper to him, "Go back to your master. Tell him I do the right thing." And he will slam the window. And those for you who have known Vete, this is the first time that you have seen him overreact about something.
Crow looks puzzled as fuck. It's just like outside, just kind of like...
Can I roll to understand the raven?
Yeah, if you want to roll to understand the raven, that's fine.
Not this particular bird.
You know what? I think I'm gonna perception empathy Vete.
I'm going to do nothing because I'm very angry to hide my feelings right now.
Oh, hey, I understand the shit out of that raven.
So it's very muffled, but you can hear the raven as it, it's like, oh, it's just kind of like, the fuck did I do? I can't even read. Why did I get it slammed in my face? What is...
Karina is going to... She doesn't really know too much about what's going on, but she's going to kind of walk up, look at the bird, and say, "It was nothing you did wrong. It was the message that you carried. Nothing is meant for you. First note, Raven."
Vete will cross the room to Titangel and will whisper into his ear. I might have been compromised, Lordship.
I see. Kim, is the Raven still there?
Yeah, the Raven's there, just kind of looking at Karina. It'll squawk again, and what Karina hears is, but why be mean to me? I thought I was gonna get a snack.
Karina
you,
actually reaches into her pocket and gives the Raven a snack.
The Raven will happily cut a munch on the snack.
So anyone else that's looking, yeah, this elf lady is just talking to this Raven, like having a full-on conversation with it.
Before it flies away, Tintagel is going to remove from his own satchel a piece of paper and a quill. I see him dip, 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 scribble, scribble, scribble. Kim, he is going to walk to Lady Karina. He's going to say, "Would you mind asking the bird to please fly this back to its master for me?" Small little note. Tim?
Oh, I actually didn't catch all that. What?
Tintagel handed you a small note and said, "Would you mind very much asking the Raven to please take this to its master for me, please?"
Okay. As the Raven's eating, Karina will kind of gently hold out this next parchment for it, and ask, "Do you think you can take this back to Mordric?"
What does it say, though? I can't read.
I actually don't know.
It is, if you read it, because Tintagel won't mind, it is just in. I have a suspicion that he's much physically closer to us than we think he is. Either that, or he is physically. He's either in the physical vicinity. He can be in the physical vicinity if he wants to be, and this is an invitation, very politely asking him to take a drink with us here.
It seems as if an invitation from Mordric.
One moment. Yeah.
I actually have Aurelius Mordric as a contact on my sheet.
As do I.
Yeah. We were both in that mission, weren't we?
Yeah.
You can both see that the Slua is very angry about this, and he mumbles something about his tea tasting like feet.
Christian is just standing there, sipping his drink, looking strangely at all of the strange antics going on around him.
Yeah,
Allow me to explain for those of you. Oh, sorry. Continue, Tim.
I was just gonna clarify to Christian. Yeah, no, this she's straight up talking to a bird, like dead ass conversation. She ain't cast a bunk or nothing. She ain't cast a cantrip. She's just talking to it.
Allow me to explain. Aurelius Mordrake is the king's spy master. He is also a Slua. Very charming individual.
Grumble, grumble, grumble in Slua.
Well, okay. Is there a problem here?
As I was.
Oh yes, terrible.
As I was commanded, my lord, I will explain. And he points to the people in the room to get closer to the table because he points to his throat and goes like shrug.
Okay, so when Karina hands the Raven the letter, does she leave the window open or does she shut it?
No, she's gonna leave it open in case like the Raven asks questions or anything.
He'll hop into the room.
God damn it, he will transform.
Oh,
There will be a little waddle. Cause fucking bird walk is hilarious. They just fucking waddle. I love it. Like seeing my cockatiels walk across my floor is like some of the best parts of my day. Waddle. Waddle some more. waddle, 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 and walk over to a particularly kind of shadowy portion of the room. Lay the note on the ground, flap its wings, and look back to Karina expectantly for a snack.
Holds out a snack.
And Victor will look at the shadow.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Karina's gonna walk on up. She's not rolling up on the shadow, but she is walking up to it. And she does kind of like kneel down as she feeds the raven, because the raven's probably on the ground.
Raven will munch on the snack, just kind of munch. And, out of the shadows, he's not rolling any stealth and, his extra little fun stuff. Aurelius will appear and he'll reach down and he'll pick the letter up.
Oh, wait, Karina hasn't greeted him yet.
That's fine. He hasn't greeted the rest of y'all either.
Yeah. I'm waiting for a very specific thing.
The Slua is shooting daggers with the eyes at the other Slua, because between Slua, spying on each other, very, very non-nice.
Unless he doesn't consider you a Slua anymore.
Then he will have to duel me because the
That's
motherfucker.
fine. He will straight return the look. There's no malice or anything in his expression. And he will just very plainly say, "You are no longer welcome to any high teas in the kingdom of Leinster, and further as soon as I get my word out."
And his mouth will open and he will point with a finger. Because I did the right thing.
Was it truly the right thing, though?
It was truly the right thing indeed.
Many do not see it that way.
Many can come and talk to me about this if they wish to do so. I'm a Slua, I'm a secret dealer, yes, but I'm no fool.
You are a Slua who seem very, very closely allied to certain nobles in this city.
Well, of course I have been. We cannot have revolution. We are going to die if we do.
Karina all of a sudden connects literally all the dots.
And he will just stare at them and go like...
As she does, Tintagel gives her a look like, "Welcome to realization."
Yeah, it's just you know that meme it's a picture I always post of the dog with his lips pursed. Red puppy dog.
The Slua will just point again at the spy master and go like, "If you want to ban me from the high teas, fine, do so." And he will actually remove his gloves and throw them to the ground. But if anyone is come to talk, if anyone is come to say something that, well, wants to be whispered in the shadows, they can come and fight me for it. Even you, in Slua. So very, very quietly, but very angry.
He will very slowly walk over. Thump, thump, thump of his boots. Then he will reach over, pick up the gloves, look directly into dude's eyes and say, "I accept your challenge."
Excellent. Should we take this to the street?
You will do nothing of the kind, both of you. Very calmly, he will say, "This is a time of war."
And if I remember correctly, you still have a duel with Lady Stormfury over there. So you have no right to speak on this matter.
My lord, I need to agree with him.
It would seem as though the information broker's information is out of date.
It is not.
Myself and Lady Stormfury have agreed to a cessation of our hostilities. There is to be no duel.
Pathetic.
This is a time of war, Aurelius. You are a resource to the crown.
And while I might fall under the authority of some, I do not fall under your authority. Commoner I might be, but I listen not to you. He will look back to Yosef and he will hand the gloves back over and say, my second will contact you, or your second.
Very well. My second will contact your second and I will expect an apology. And he sits down and stares at him like the motherfucker he is.
There shall be no apology. After all, I don't feel like apologizing to something that's not even a slua. And he'll just turn around and walk out.
Oh, when he does that, and there is something over the table, like a teapot, anything. It's being thrown on this gentleman direction. Like Vete just snaps at not being a slua. He just grabs anything he has at hand and he just throws it at him. And on a very strange whisper that cannot become by any means a scream, he will just say that to me again and I will take your tongue and nail it to the ground.
Go ahead, roll your dex athletics or dex throw to throw the cup.
Yep. I'm going to throw him a very nice china cup. Because he's a fucker. And I shall do so. Yes.
Alfie is terrified. He doesn't understand what the fuck is going on, bro.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
That's
He was
wonderful.
talking about revolutions and wars.
I
Like,
have 3 successes.
And he has...
84.
Oops, hold on.
but what is phone?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yo, are they throwing hands right here?
8.
It looks like it, bro.
So he throws the cup. You got 3 successes, right?
Yep.
Dude, bro got a lot of 10s. So he got like 8 successes. So he will very calmly just kind of slide out of the way. There is a crash as the teacup hits the wall of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
He open the door and there will be a he will very slowly turn back around and say, unfortunate. I thought I heard the wind rustling for a moment there.
And he will just look at the spy master and go like, you know what? We need no seconds. You and me on the street now. And he will just start walking to the door, open it, and start stomping down the stairs.
Well, there's only one door and Aurelius is kind of like in that doorway right now.
He will just go to Aurelius and point at the door and go like, you have something to lose.
Bro, why
Because-
today?
Something very reap. Something very
Literally.
Why?
was insulted. Something
And you know
very
what, literally, Aurelius just did the Slua in Slua. He just hocked a loogie in his face.
Yeah, he basically, you know, grabbed one of those big old fat loogies and go like, a poo on my face.
Question: Isn't high tea like a really big deal to the Slua?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
an amazing big deal.
It's, basically, high tea is like when every slua, independent of house, rank, or anything, even silly and silly, get together and they can be truly who they are.
They pretty much share information and tea, and it's very nice, polite, and there's so much etiquette rules that are just thrown around.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the equivalent of if a she was kicked out of court.
Basically. It's
It is
like,
a wickedly massive big deal to Slua.
yeah, and he's bearing me from all of the high teas in this kingdom, and probably people will not assist to my own high teas. So that's massive because I'm informationless.
Mm-hmm.
This is credential.
As they're apparently going to go and have a street brawl now.
With swords. As gentlemen do.
No. Nigel is going to stand up, and he's going to fix Aurelius in his eyes. He's going to look at him. Look deep. What color eyes does Aurelius have?
Black. He got Slua.
Do Slua have black eyes? That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So his brilliant gold she eyes lock with the black inky depths of the Slua, and he'll say, "You don't have a title, so I can't address you by that. However, Aurelius, Mordrake."
As he's talking, he's gonna walk out the door.
And I will follow.
Looks at Tintagel, because Tintagel might flip out at that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Doesn't realize he's squeezing Raven's hand.
No.
Tintagel will sigh, or he will pick up a bottle from the table and smash it off a wall, like throwing it, smash. And he will say in a loud voice, "Does no one think of this kingdom? Does no one think of the damage they do?"
Hey, Alfie, you're standing behind Raven now.
Yep.
Boy, those wings make quite a breeze when she is stressed.
I'm just letting you know, Alfie is standing behind Raven, who is now standing behind Kareem.
Look what is going on.
That hard.
He will fix Karina in his view, because after this we're going to have to go downstairs and, have what I will lovingly refer to as the quietest sword fight in human history. And he will say, "The commoners have been stirring. They claim because the Shi do not allow them access to the freeholds anymore that we are tyrants. They are openly rattling sabers, and there may be rebellion. It would seem as though Aurelius Mordrake has chosen his side."
Have we given the commoners access to freeholds?
Some of the nobles have closed their freeholds in order to prevent the plague from spreading. I haven't. I don't believe you have either.
Out of character, Kim, Kareem doesn't have a freehold yet, does she?
No, she's got that barony.
I'm actually confused because you told me pretty specifically that like Kareem doesn't have a freehold yet. Is that a different thing now?
No, they got the barony. Like, remember way back with the whole Warren Point or whatever when they took it over?
Yeah.
One dude got a county, she got a barony.
I didn't know that came with a freehold. Okay. Because it ain't on my sheet. But either way, yeah, Karina probably wouldn't have. Karina probably wouldn't have closed it off. She probably would have used her science and her medicine and all that, and her Greymare to like identify the plague victims, and rather than like just not give them glamour, basically help them get glamour.
That's it. He will say to noting the Slua, who is currently disappearing down the stairs in order to fight a mofo, brought this information to me at great personal cost to himself. The commoners did everything in their power to keep it under wraps. However, now, unfortunately, the Duke and His Majesty will need to be told.
The root of the problem seems to be the plague. We can solve that and run damage control.
I am currently in negotiations for the last component I require in order to complete my work, and then hopefully I'll be able to break the, or rather, you will be able to break the back of this plague. I only require one more element, and as I say, I'm currently negotiating for it.
There is only one that I want to fight. I have no attacking our own people.
No. Neither do I. They are desperate. I will not strike down a hungry man for taking a loaf of bread. However, we had better go and watch Veta get brutally murdered.
Does he understand that this is in the dreaming and he won't come back if they fight to death?
I have no idea.
more fucking like fear. Like, wait, what? Like,
Raven just pats his hand. Don't worry. I will explain it to you later, or Baroness Karina will. It's fine.
What is the term? The Reddit term. Too long didn't read. Yes. She looks at Alfie. Too long didn't read. My name is Karina, and shit got real. With a thumbs up. She looks bored as shit whenever she talks, by the way.
so I assume she's giving him like this really the blank stare that you currently have on your overlay.
Essentially.
While going down the stairs, I suppose this motherfucker is a little bit ahead of me. So I will be getting ready for dueling and putting my gloves, casting my arts. I know that
I've got a question actually, because Aurelius was. Oh no, I'll do it when I get downstairs. But yeah, no, I think that team nobility fuck up are about to traipse down the stairs after the quietest duel in history.
Andrew, go ahead. Roll me perk alert.
Sure. Perception alert. 1 second, because I was looking over the thingies.
All right. After he rolls and that's resolved, I do want to set some kind of marching order or something.
What was that, Tim?
I was saying after Alejandro resolves his roll, I wanted to set up a marching order for those of us that are heading down.
I have 3 successes on the perk A.
Okay, so you kind of, y'all were heading down the stairs, so you had to round a corner. Aurelius rounded it before you rounded it after. You would expect to see Dude Bro there, he not.
Yeah, probably. I suppose so.
But there is a letter, with there's a piece of parchment on the bottom of on a step.
Oh, this fucker likes to be magical. Grabs it, reads it.
It pretty much reads, as I said, I would have my second contact yours. We are not dueling today. Not in the street, like hooligans.
Something
We shall set the terms.
Something is being written. This Slua takes out a pen, because a pocket quill, because Sluas, and writes something like, he pauses for a second, taps his lip for a second, and writes, very well. ... You're a coward. ... Greetings. ...
How about that?
And the note is thrown to the nearest shadow pit.
It hits the wall and it just kind of lands there.
I know, bro. It was just the Slua thing to do. At least they can say, I have given my greetings to him. Like a Slua. And the Slua will, throw back, look at all the party of failed noble fuck-ups, and usher them back upstairs like
Failed noble fuck.
What the fuck is going on?
What you did. No, Tintagil's going to raise his hand at this, because literally, he's going to look at Vector and he's going to say, because Tintagil doesn't have slew lore. He's going to say, explain high tea to me.
And Karina leans over looking curious.
The Slua will look at him and he will point to the room upstairs and he will wait, using if he needs to, if everyone is too occupying the space of the stair, he will squirm through them and go to the room. If he squirms near you, you feel a little bit creeped out.
Because it's appropriate, Alfie is stunned, and I'll say he squirmed past them, and Alfie will scream.
So Vete, I'm sorry, it's pronounced Vete?
Yeah, Vete.
Vete, okay. So he's using his birthright to squirm past this whole Congo line, right?
Yeah.
Karina will kind of feel this. Yeah, she's going to get creeped out, and she'll respond with, yes, Vete. I would love to have you for dinner.
And he turns around a small shimmer on his eyes as he bows deeply to Karina and goes to the upstairs room.
Tintagel, you guys hear a weird sound as Tintagel walks upstairs. You hear a shing.
Did he pull a sword, Evan?
He did indeed draw a sword. No, but as he walks into the room, you'll see he does have this really, really beautiful sword in his hand. Because I'm assuming he was probably the first in the conga line, and then thus the last to re-enter the room. But no, he'll look at Veta and he'll say, "Explain this to me, IT. What is this?"
He will just look at them and he will quietly whisper, "If any of you speak about this to anyone, I will kill you."
What?
And then he will just sit
I
properly
don't want to know this. He just gives him a leave.
and goes immediately, "High tea is the following.
Oh my god.
Welcome to mental trauma.
High tea is where Slua meets, where we are Slua to each other. This man has robbed me of the most important thing in my life. He has robbed me of my kind, of my people, and of our way to do things."
So, in a sense, it's as if one of us were kicked out of court.
No, not just kicked out of court. We could find a different court. He's been told he is no longer what he is in his eyes.
It's like, and he taps his fingers. If like the king, okay, yeah, and he looks at you. If you're in presence of the king and you just walk at him and spit him right in the face.
And
Oh,
this
even
happened
Raven
because,
cringes at that.
and this happened because you did your duty.
Yes, because my fellow doesn't believe that stopping a war is more important than a spent secret, apparently, or a secret given to someone, to a noble that can stop things, probably. I know that if we rebel, we lose. And if we lose, we die. We don't have anything. Most of the commoners don't have freeholds. They are dying out there. And if we rebel right now, more of us are going to die. Not you. And he points to the nobles. Us. And he points to himself. And I wanted to stop that. If I need to stop being a Slua to do so, well, fuck him.
Tintagel sighs and he says, "That is probably the most noble thing I have ever heard." And he's being entirely genuine.
The Slua, he just looks at you and he goes like, "It's not noble, my lord. It's only the right thing to do."
I hate you so much, Alejandro.
Yes, I know. I'm amazing to do this.
Raven smiles and nods.
He looks at you. He looks at his shoes. He looks at your shoes. He takes a knee.
Doing it again. God damn it.
It's like you're taking every puppy in the street.
Well, no, you just did like the most honorable thing in the universe, and I know it's your one heart's desire. Oh my buck. Fine.
I mean, shit, if Tintagel don't do it, Karina's gonna do it.
Fuck my life. Do we want to proc open, because I like to do this nice and official, page 265 of the book?
Very well. Page 265 of the book. Coming right up, sir. If I know how to matter. 265. I was close.
Also, because Tintagel did promise him if his information proved valid that I would knight him, so...
Well, now you know. The spy master confirmed it for me.
I'm gonna fucking... If you don't kill him, I'm gonna pull his entrails out through his fucking nose.
Oh, probably I'm not going to kill him and he's going to stab me to death. Or not, because Lua tend not to kill each other, just to maim.
But remember, he said you're not a Slua.
Nah, still he's a Slua.
Hang on. Kim, do you exist? I'll take that as a no.
I had to switch screens and like unmute myself, but yeah, I'm here.
Cool. It's just I always like to have this kind of stuff witnessed. Okay. Which goes first? Do I give him the oath of... Which goes first?
Usually them to you, and then you to them.
Cool. In that case, he will say, repeat after me, Veta. In the name of the dreaming.
In the name of the dreaming.
I swear my loyalty to you, my lord, Tintagel Flickerflame Abdougal.
I swear my loyalty to you, my lord, Tintagel Flickerflame Abdougal.
As the moon rules the tide, as the rain refreshes the grass.
As the moon rules the tide, as the rain refreshes the grass.
As the sun imparts life to all.
As the sun imparts life to all.
So your will becomes my desire.
So your will become my desire.
As you command, I will obey.
As you command, I will obey.
As you request, I will comply.
As you request, I will comply.
May my service always please you, and may my eyes lose their sight if I invoke your wrath.
May my service always please you, and may my eyes lose their sight if I invoke your wrath.
My heart, my mind, my hands are yours from now until you release me.
My heart, my mind, my heart, my mind, my hands are yours from now on until you release me from this oath.
Tintagel will place his sword on your shoulder, and he'll say, he'll look down and he'll say, what is your full given name?
Oh boy. He will raise a finger. He will write something incredibly long for like what seems to be the span of like literally in dreaming time 2 minutes. And he will hand it over to you. And he will write it to your side too, so you can see it on the side of the chat box. And it's on the and the thing in the brackets is a translation to English.
All right, he is just going to call you Veta for the purposes of this, because he will
Yes.
say the full wording. Evan's not going to got this. In the name of the dreaming, I take you, Veta, as my vassal. As the stones, the trees, the grass belong to the earth, so do you belong to me, and as one of my heart, my house and hearth. I promise to hold you, to guard you, and to keep you. I pledge to honor your service as it deserves, and to reward loyalty in kind, and to assure you shelter in the times of need and plenty. As the moon to the seas below, so this is my will to yours. With these words, I pledge these sheets to you. Arise now and be recognized in the dreaming, from now until the end, from the time when we were formed to the time when the Fomori come again, and we shall do glorious battle with our ancestors. You are now and forevermore Sir Vete.
And
Rise tonight.
he just blinks, rises, And he does something very weird. He looks at your blade and he kisses the not the blade itself, but the handle as he removes
Okay,
his
so
top
I
hat.
was gonna say if you kiss the blade, I was gonna have to get a ref call from Kim on that because that might have gone sideways.
No. He's not kissing the blade. He's kissing the handle of it.
I cannot give you back what it is you've sacrificed, for it appears you've sacrificed much. However, I can at least offer you a house and a home, and promise that we will not turn our back on you for your service. The she remembers service.
A small inky black tear comes from his eyes, and he nods, and he just goes like, I might not remember much of my past, my lord. I barely remember anything. But I don't want to see revolution again. It's not the way, it's not the solution. And he will just, go into a corner, sit, and he will look at all of you, grab his top hat, give his back to you, and you can actually, all of you, can hear something that might break your heart. You hear Aslua crying for everything he has lost.
So, whatever absolute shit-eating grin has been on Raven's face this entire time, because she knew this was something Vete wanted, is gone, and she will go over to him and wrap her arms around him in give him a big squeeze.
He's when you touch him, you can feel him shivering. You can see the ink that pours out from his eyes. You think that even if you lose your children, you wouldn't suffer as much.
Ooh.
It's a deep wound.
Even tighter squeeze now.
Damn it.
Christian was smiling, just at the opportunity to get to watch an oath being enacted. One he's sworn, of course, to his own house and seen and remembered sworn many times over. But as he goes to raise his, as he raises his cup to the Slua, the Slua goes and weeps in a corner, so that casts a pall over what congratulations she might offer him. He just lowers his cup.
Tintagel looks grave. I mean, bear in mind, Tintagel's much like Karina. He doesn't really show emotion much, but okay. From the perspective of those who've known him, Tintagel and Karina have literally been busting their asses trying to cure this plague, trying to do everything, and it's just all of this is kind of just he understands the commoner's perspective, and that's the reason why he has not been heavy-fisted. But it's just such a mental weight at this point that it's almost brought him to shattering point, because they've literally done, from the perspective of nobles trying to protect the commoners, they have thrown everything to try and do it. And it's just such, from his perspective, how can they not see that we've literally been killing ourselves trying to do this? But, so his face is grave and ashen, and he looks far older than he ever has. If he could go beyond Grump, he would go beyond Grump.
Raven,
Yes, Baroness?
do you know him well? That was Bete. I've only seen him twice.
I know him well enough to know that this was his dream, and it is the cruelest circumstance that he only gave it after experiencing such a loss.
Alejandro, I'm sorry. The only reason I didn't direct that at Bete himself, I assumed he left the room.
Oh no, he's like still crying / drinking from a bottle at the same time on the corner under probably a certain she arms are like petting him very slowly on the back.
Mm-hmm.
He's like glug glug glug.
Okay.
Glug
So
glug
he
glug.
is there, but he's really not in a condition to really respond to things. That's fair.
He's drunk. Sad drunk? Yeah, he's sad drunk.
He is sober. And out of character, I did have to BRB. Did he swear to intelligence?
Yep. He's one of Tintangel's knights.
Okay. So,
Tintagel looks, as I said, ashen. He almost looks sick. As a matter of fact, Kim, if you want to give me the plague at this point, I would totally accept that because he feels like death on the inside. You will see him remove a piece of paper and a parchment from his pocket. He will look down at the paper, he'll read it. There will be a deep sigh. He will sit down at the chair, and you'll see him scratch something on the paper. Kim, for the record, it's that piece of paper that allows me to communicate with that person. And he's basically just, this has to end. Regardless what price I have to pay, this has to end.
Okay. So what are you writing on that piece of paper?
His exact word. I'll just use the last message I sent you on the forum because let's just get this. Let's get traction behind this rather than me just sending random messages. He'll say, "Very well. State your demands, then, my lord. It is now time to negotiate."
There will be a pause because this is streaming text messaging, and sometimes people walk away from their phones.
I like to think his piece of paper vibrates.
Brrr, in paper.
No, it actually, like, when it's got a message, it'll just kind of fly for a moment. It'll like lift up in the air and then slowly fall down. There's like a minute or two where there's a pause, and there will come a reply, and it will say, "Make an offer."
I don't exactly know what you want, will be his response, comma. Base groundwork to start with would be helpful.
Very tempted to have like Altarisk sigh Altarisk. But he just fucking
Do
writes
it. Do it. Yes. And
He's got no idea what they want. I mean, I could offer him the crown jewels of England and only find out that he's got the Star of fucking Bengal in his closet.
sorry, that broke me.
I mean, dude has put enough fucking on neuromancy. Three favors owed by you, with the promise that you will not try to wiggle out of them or play word games.
He will respond, As long as these favors do not bring me into conflict with my oaths that I have sworn, I will agree.
Then it is done.
Very well. When will I be able to expect your part of the bargain?
And then there is a little tap tap at the window.
It's another raven! Run!
If it's a raven, I'm killing it. Like I'm taking my chance and I'm skewering it.
No, it's not a raven.
Damn it.
It's actually an itty bitty little manticore.
Oh,
Like, little tiny itty bitty little thing. Like, like palm sized.
Kim, is it adorable or terrifying?
It's a manticore. They're
So adorable.
mildly kind of terrifying. It's like, let's put a fucking scorpion stinger on a lion along with some wings and, see what happens. But it's itty bitty. Like,
But it's cheap.
yeah, it's a little chibi. And in its mouth, it's got a little fucking baggie.
He will walk to the window, he will open it, and he will collect the baggie.
It will lay the baggie in his hand, and then it'll kind of flap its wings. And it really looks like it wants to sting you. It just looks up, wiggles its little tail a little bit, and looks up at him with, like, puppy dog eyes. Just kind of like, please? Please?
It's actually asking, please! Please, can I sting you? Please!
There's only so much you can do. It's from the lane.
May I sting you one more time, master?
No.
Damn it.
Just kind of sighs, wiggles again, wiggles its tail a little bit again.
Closes the window in its face.
It starts to cry.
Aww.
I will shoot the manticore, Kim. I'm not in any kind of mood.
It starts to cry. Outside of the window, it's like sitting on its back paws, and it's fucking sniffling, and you can see little tears running down its tiny, itty bitty little face.
God damn it. Tim, do you exist?
I do now.
I now possess your vote in his hand at incredible personal expense. You almost, once again, if you looked sick before, the last component needed.
So we can start properly starting.
Yes. However, we can no longer trust the commoner kits in order to see this through to the end. We can only trust those whom we know we can trust.
Karina, she's actually gonna kind of like she tilts her head. Then she's gonna say, "To be honest, Your Excellency, this problem seems to have arisen because of the great divides between us. Rather than build them back up."
They have their own theory as to where this plague comes from. Incorrect, I think, but you'll see him slump back into the chair. He'll drink whatever's on the table at this point. He doesn't care as long as it's got an alcohol content. We need to assemble a group in order to go to the Titan's Forge. Assuming the good Lady Giantess has been able to secure its usage for us. It will be a great quest. The type that stories will be told of long after we're all dead and buried. He will look around the room at this point, and he'll say, "Children, scions of the dreaming, hear me. We need to undertake this quest so the kingdom may yet be saved from the darkness and the plague that ravages it. I would ask for your swords, though I will not demand them."
The Slua stops crying, gets up, de-dusts himself, removes something that seems to be black ichor from his face, draws his sword, goes to Titangel, knee on the ground, sword on the ground. My sword is yours, my lord.
Raven will approach to Tangel, kneel before him, place her whip on the ground in front of her. I and my weapon are yours to command, should you need them.
Christian approaches also. He just smiles at the cat. I've already made you an offer of my sword arm. If I may help. Well, a true knight stands against the problems that beset others. Nods.
In that case, Sir Christian, I would like to invite you officially into my household.
Does take a moment to think about it. And then he'll nod and incline his head as a bow.
He'll look at Karina and he'll put a hand on her shoulder as opposed to anything else, and he'll say, "While I respect what you say, Lady Stonefury, I think that it is important that the nobles are shown in this endeavor to take the first steps and to take the lead so that what shaken faith can be rebuilt when they see how much we care and that we are willing to bleed for them."
She'll shrug, not shrug his hand off, but just shrug and say, "Fair enough then. You recognize you all had me at Adventure, correct?"
He'll smile. I choose to point out for poster, poor Alfie. Poor Alfie.
Alfie doesn't even know what the. He's just standing there, like with a blank expression on his face, like, okay, what? Like,
Poor Alfie.
he will, I guess, put his hands in his pocket and not say anything.
My apologies, Alfie. I'll say with a slight smile, as he's very tired at this point or anything else. We will teach you what you need to know. You have my word. We are just dealing with so much at the moment that it's hard to breathe.
I guess I'll figure it out one way or another.
Hey, Kim, he's gonna walk over to the window. Is the little manticore still there? Has it fucked off? Little stinging death beast.
Probably he's thinking like the window, like tick, 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 in Morse code for, please, Titangel, just one more sting, you will like it.
That's creepy as all fuck, but thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't think Kim is there.
Nope.
Turns out I thought my mic wasn't muted, and it turns out it was. Rip. Nah, it's still there. It still looks very sad and dejected. Its tail is just kind of curled around its legs, and it much like a cat, and it's just kind of sitting there. Its little lion ears are just kind of drooped down, and it just looks pitiful in a kind of very funny way.
He's going to take some meat or something off the table, and because he has to open the window for something completely unrelated. But he's going to give it a little piece of meat, come on, buddy, come on, buddy.
It won't even take the meat; it just lays there.
God damn it! Why is it now that it's adorable in my head? Stop this!
It's just chilling there.
Just so we can tie this all up in a nice bow, Kim, is the giantess in shouting range?
Well, I would say that she's a giantess. Everything is shouting range for her.
I mean, yeah, kinda.
On the side note, Anthony, Jesus Christ, they really mean fireworks for you guys.
Yes, America.
America.
America!
Yeah, come again, save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Kim, what was the giant's name?
Mindrion.
He's going to shout out, Lady Mindrion, may we bother you for a moment?
They just kind of call back out. What do you need?
We need to know if you found the forge that we could use. Yes, we're just having this shouted conversation.
There's a thump, 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 thump as she kind of walks over, and she's a giantess. She's like,
oh god, poor Alfie.
Very tall.
Giant woman.
Yes, Kim. Yes,
Eyes will get sparkly again, and this sort of mock fear, and I don't know how to respond. Giant woman.
So she'll just kind of stand there for a moment, and she could clearly
reach out
see into the yeah, sorry, I had to space out for a moment, my bad. She can see into the room because she's that tall, and she'll just kind of say, yeah.
He's gonna reach out a hand. She can probably shake his arm, but it's still polite to do.
She'll reach out a finger.
Yay! He'll say, were you able to find us a forge that we could use for our great labor?
That. Yes and no.
What do you mean?
The forge is there. Those that are there are not kind.
Are they your kind or other? Oh, sorry, continue.
They had killed my kind. What of my family I had left there at the forge, I found all dead. I barely made it out myself.
Yo, Kim, can I get an intelligence Greymare to know that? Because that's like Norse shit.
I don't know what you're trying to know, because she just told y'all that they had all died. Like, that, that she went over there and they weren't there anymore. So I don't know what you want me to tell you more of.
Oh, no, I'm actually... Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying that, like, The people that killed her kind are there instead. Or is that what you said?
Kind of. Just like she went to the forge, found a couple of like her little giant friends dead. Then she got attacked, and then she left. She never really said that it was like, it's the same thing that's killed us for millennia. It's just.
What managed to drive you off?
I didn't really see it.
How far is it from here?
Not too terribly far.
Will you show us?
Yes.
Thank you. Whatever debt that we may have had, I didn't consider it a debt. I hoped you didn't either, but I wish to just say that I consider it more than repaid, if one was considered. Thank you for the risk that you undertook.
She nods.
Well, we know where we're going. It will take me a few days to assemble the necessary equipment and the necessary tools, but then we shall leave. And hopefully slay the plague when we return. Or rather, when you return.
Wait, who's he speaking to?
All of you guys.
She'll shrug. We've got this. If there's something standing in our way, then it won't. Seems as if now is a good time for us to all start making preparations, yes?
I'm inclined to agree.
I actually didn't
May the
catch what
fortune
Zintatch said. My bad.
He said I should think so. May the fortune shine on all of us.
Rena nods and says, very well, I have things to read, things to prepare. Mr. Barshal? She's looking at Alfie, by the way.
She looks at you.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I don't know why that name came up in my head.
Alfie. Alphinaud.
I think I lagged out.
Alphinaud.
Alfie. It's good to meet you. As I've already said, my name is Karina. You have somewhere to stay, yes? Or no?
I have roommates. He shrugs.
Yes, but somebody that can tell you more about motions up and down.
No.
Count has quite a bit of on his plate, as it were. If you'd like, I can tell you more about what's happened to you. This must all be a rush.
You could say that.
Raven will look at Alfie.
Say.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, she just said, then that's what I'll say.
Baroness Karina is a very good person to speak to when you are new. She has done quite a bit to help me adjust.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, Anthony. My bad.
Mm.
Karina has a British accent, a very heavy British accent.
Alfie has a very definitive. It's not a. It's hard to place his accent. It seems like it's a combination of things, but it definitely sounds like English isn't his first language, and he sounds extremely Australian.
I can dig it. So she'll say, very well then. Shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, and Karina's gonna head on out. I'm supposing with Alfie and or Raven in tow, because Karina has research to do and shit to check up on.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is a good place to end this scene. It has gone on for so much longer than I imagined it would. And I was like, oh, okay. No. But yeah, thank you players for playing. Thank you all for watching. It's been another scene. Change the dreaming, Dublin, blah, blah, blah.